Hello. Bum, bum, bum. I really love this music. Oh yeah, we gotta help this guy with his rhymes. Junk! Alright. Formula. Anyway, you ready for this? Let's do it! Gonna give it a shot? That's what I like to hear. Here's the first line I'm having trouble with. You ready? It's my favorite season. Only comes once a year. I'll show you the meaning of... hang on a second. True meaning of an elephant ear. Old wrestling gear. My holiday cheer. On the old frontier. I don't know why I find that so funny. I think it's my holiday cheer. It's my favorite season, only comes once a year. I'll show you the true meaning of my holiday cheer. Hey, yeah, that totally works. Great idea. Thanks a ton. Here's the next line. Ready? Pay attention now. If you bring mistletoe, you'll knock me off my guard, and if you want my number, I'll... You know, for this one I don't think words are gonna be enough. I'm gonna need some inspiration to make it come together. If you've got anything to show me that you think will help me out, let me know. Let's see, what have I got? If you bring mistletoe, you'll knock me off my guard, but if you want my number, I'll give you my scones. That doesn't rhyme. Oh man, you totally threw off my style with that one. I'm gonna keep thinking, but let me know if you come up with anything new. Guard? Oh! I'll show you my business card! Yeah! These are like bad ad-libs. Hey! That totally works! Really, thanks so much. I'd never be able to write a song like this without you. A Christmas-themed love song? Aren't those supposed to be pretty tacky? Alright, now I need your help with just one more line. I promise, it's the last one. This one's been driving me up the wall. I hope you can tackle it as well as the others. Ready? Here we go. This is harmony. I think we're vibing the same tones. We can ride this beat with a nice pair of scones. What? This is getting embarrassing. There's no way to salvage this one without some seriously fresh inspiration, yo. Don't lose hope. I'm sure it'll hit us at any second now. This is harmony. I think we're vibing the same tones. We can ride this beat with a pair of yummy Christmas scones. He does know those are donuts, right? Now that's what I call a tasty beat. That was amazing! I can't believe you pulled it off. Whatever you do for work now, it doesn't matter. You should become a musician. We'd totally become rivals, and I bet you that. On second thought, keep your day job. This is my territory, you feel me? But you did help me in a huge way, so I guess you're cool. Go on in and see Nonya whenever you want. I'll just be chilling around here, soaking up the inspiration of my surroundings. Here, you can keep the scones. No, I want them! No! My scones! Oh, it was nice meeting you, Formula. Hey, you too, little bot blue. Hey, that kind of rhymed. Let's go. No, my donuts! Man. I guess I could just keep pulling the gun on everyone. Ooh. Oh. It's Cyborg. Crash. Time to look at everything. A neon crash sign lights up the front of the beat up desk. Go ahead and try something if you want me to shove that rum you got down your throat. Some of the front of this brochure looks similar to the front of this sign. Does it? A CRT monitor? What is this? That is known as a CRT monitor. Almost nobody still uses these anymore. They're very outdated. This white desk has seen better days. The poor desk barely looks capable of handling the weight of the monitor alone. Well, let's not point our gun at things. Lung augments, spine augments, cybernetic arms, all Dynamo brand. Poking the screen causes a ring of color to ripple out from your fingertip. Oh, that's cool. The screen doesn't respond to verbal commands at all. It doesn't even look like its information can be upgraded anywhere but the back end. Pretty sure the screen doesn't even have the ability to scan. Wait, what did it say? You aren't used to working with this level of closed-off tech. It's so 2027. Pretty sure the screen doesn't even have the ability to scan anything. It's just an advertisement. Okay. A colossal mess of tangled wires sprawls on the floor. Let's touch it. The flashbacks of the wall sockets behind your work desk are just too much. As soon as the headphones connect, a loud electronic crackling noise startles you and hurts your ears. Got him! I'll shoot him. According to the third and most recent reboot, doing that is how Statica, Empress of Electricity, got her powers. What? Not exactly a prime advertising real estate, but for implants you can't get much better. Stop, unless you want to get charged for a dynamo. Sorry. The thick, slightly opaque window makes it hard to see finer details of the operating room, but you can still make out the basic tables, stretchers, complex-looking surgical equipment, and supply cabinets. Oh, there's people in there. You fog the window up and draw a stick figure in just the right way to make it look like it's getting its own upgrade. The dramatic gesture is lost without anyone from the human revolution here to witness it. It says, surgery in progress. Okay. Oh. A small panel on the wall belches out many loose stray wires. Maybe they're for powering the surgery equipment. The screws are practically shredded. The panel casing isn't going anywhere. There is no cardstock in the world firm enough to withstand being wedged in that panel. A large circular screen scrolls through available upgrades, options, and parts available in the store. And a bionic eyeball. It's a speech-compatible screen, not a touch capacitive one. Saying one of the available ocular upgrades aloud brings up a list of payment options. A new customer form is pulled up after the identification card is scanned. Probably best to not give this kind of place any sensitive personal info. An ad for an advertisement filter augment pops up on the screen. Alright, let's talk to you. Or look at you. This guy is one of the most serious looking people you've ever seen. There's an air of authority about them that makes it clear that this is their domain. This guy is one of the most serious looking— oh, okay. Can I help you? I have some aural upgrades that make those bad boys sing. Let me know if you're interested. Yeah, let's just talk to him. Nope. 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 I don't know you. You got someone willing to vouch for you? If not, get out of my shop. Charlie Nova said I should come talk to you. We just met Formula. He said we were cool. Mula? That guy's a hoot. Keeps out the riffraff and fakers, too. But seriously, where did you hear about me? Charlie Nova said I should come talk to you. Charlie? Yeah, I remember him. That TV guy. Runs his mouth a lot, yeah? Paid good enough. Alright, then. What can I do for you? Charlie said your name is Nonya? Sure, if that's what you want to call me. If your credit's clear, you can call me whatever you want. Enough foreplay. What can I do for you? A fresh install, customer firmware, maybe an upgrade. I can pretty much do it all, but most people come in here for VR implants. Turns out brain surgery is expensive, yeah? We don't need surgery. We're here for a different kind of business. We're in a bad situation. Local news articles are being mysteriously altered after they've been posted to the mesh, even while the originals are still online. Charlie Novas are being manipulated as well, and he pointed us in your direction. It didn't start happening until after he had his implant upgraded. Do you know anything about that? What kind of ports did you use for Charlie? Have you had any issues with the Human Revolution? Do you know anything about that? What are you, cops? No, worse. You're journalists. Get the hell out of my shop! I have a business to run. I don't have time to answer shit about shit that don't got shit to do with me. You found the door before, find it again! And tell Charlie he can get someone else to do him a rush job when he's back on stims and needs a workaround. He ain't welcome around here anymore. Oops. Give us a moment, please. I don't know about you, but I'm getting tired of being given the runaround by these meatbags. We could just find some bribe or blackmail to get what we want from this Nonya, but I think it's time to take matters into our own hands. I have an idea. Keep him occupied for a few minutes. How should I do that? Just do what you normally do and ask questions. Nothing about the blog post, though. We don't want to set him off. Just keep him talking. It'll only take a minute. Are you gonna get going, or am I gonna have to call someone to make you get going? Think about this. You might be on the right track with the cops idea. No? Listen, we don't think you had anything to do with manipulating Charlie's stories. I didn't. We were just hoping to get some more background information on the kind of implant he has, so we can follow other leads. Shit. Fine. Whatever. I'll tell you what you want. Within reason. Doctor-patient confidentiality and all that. Just promise me it'll get you the hell out of my shop a little sooner. Deal. Sorry for this. Our circumstances have gotten serious. We're following anything we can all the way to the end. There's no way to hack a VR implant like Charlie's. I mean, you can definitely install hostile firmware on one, but you can't just load whatever program you want without the user's knowledge. Any changes to the loaded firmware will trigger really obvious visual indicators to let you know something is being changed, and those are put in on the hardware level. I've never heard of anyone being able to circumvent them. The only person who could have loaded hostile firmware on there is me. And I get paid too much to risk my reputation over changing a few blog posts. What about using the mesh to mess with the implant? Is there some way to change the input remotely? No, the implant itself doesn't have any kind of wireless connection. You have to use a headset with an induction coil for I/O or I/O. Wireless just doesn't have the bandwidth for it. You might be able to try infecting a ROM with some virus that screws with the I/O, but you only use a connection to a ROM for AR HUDs. They can't handle full simulation. You need a full rig and a hardline connection to the net to do that. So, I'd give it a big maybe. If that's actually how it all happened, they probably would have found whatever infected its ROM way before you showed up here to bother me. Could it have just been faulty parts? Not to be too blunt about it, but this area is a little disreputable. Maybe your supplier sent you an implant with something fishy preloaded. Damn it! Look, I get it. I'm working out of an old auto garage on the bad side of town. But I'm a fully licensed cybersurgery tech. This entire business is legitimate. It isn't illegal to install custom parts or firmware in any current generation implants. It just breaks the warranty. My business keeps a low profile so we don't run into bogus patent infringement lawsuits from Flower Cybernetics or whatever shell company they decide to come after you with. All of my parts are sourced direct from the original manufacturer, completely above board. So if they're bad, they were built bad by the factory. Now is that all? I have appointments to keep. Thanks for your time. Yeah. Whatever. You may not know this, but I have a finely tuned sense of electromagnetic fields. All ROMs do. We need to be able to maintain optimal contact with the mesh, catalog and use various wireless transmissions, and avoid areas with dangerously high interference. Your stock, off-the-shelf ROM has very little command over the frequencies available to be scanned. But I'm starting to realize how very little of me is stock or off-the-shelf after the changes Hayden made. How does that help? Van Eck freaking is a methodology by which you scan the electromagnetic radiation emitted by the cathode ray tube inside a monitor and recreate the original signal remotely. Meaning, in layman's terms, I can read his monitor over his shoulder while being across the room. Well, some. I doubt I could have handled an LCD monitor. They require extra parts I just don't have. And the fidelity is a bit low. But we're in luck. It wasn't. Anyways, Nonya looked up his client records on Charlie, and I got some of the names of his other customers off the spreadsheet. One in particular stands out. Shitaro Atsuka. That sounds flimsy. As if everything else in this wild goose chase hasn't been. Mr. Otsuka is a moderately prominent tech blogger, respected, perhaps a bit vitriolic. He catches my attention though because historically he has been very critical of Parallax in his posts. Recently though, the tone has been increasingly moderate, and now he is almost effusive in his praise. His fans are accusing him of shilling for the company, but many of his earliest posts show some of the same manipulations that we saw from Augmented Eye and Nova's blog. Now it's like he's being ghost-written entirely. To lead the way, might be worth looking into. It might be worth looking into. Couldn't hurt to check, right? I've marked the location for Shotaro Otsuka's apartment on your map. After you, Stygian. Alright. This is the building, Stygian. Mr. Otsuka must do well for himself considering the neighborhood. Not the priciest section of Neo San Francisco, but nice enough for a self-employed tech blogger. Perhaps we should just ring the bell? We both know it won't be that easy, but these things have a certain order they have to be done in. Did you know that palm trees used to be much more common around almost as... Did you know that palm trees used to be much more common around almost a city staple? That was a weird sentence. This one looks very healthy too, but you already knew that part. The trunk is prickled and rough as far as you can reach. What's shaking, plant? How did you grow up so vertically on this steep hill? Oh, it's this guy. They're holding a colorful umbrella. Wish you had one. Wish you had thought ahead like that. Luckily, Turing isn't affected by rain. Hey, didn't I see you earlier at TMI? Nice to meet you. I'm Sky. My gym's closed this week for the holidays. Gonna see some family tomorrow. That's nice. Why do autocabs take so long to get out to this part of the city? Don't they know people have places to go? I'm going to see if the gym in Daly City is still open. You weren't prepared for the weather, huh? Your ROM looks fancy enough to keep track of that. Yeah. A gorgeous picture window with engraving and crown molding. The design is just slightly worn from the weather and general outside hazards, but it's in surprisingly good shape. Good. Oh, there's a fire escape. Looks like the building's fire escape. They call this the working person's balcony. What? The ladder is raised up right now. Shouldn't we try the doorbell before we break in? Oh, fine. It's the door to Shotaro's apartment building. All you can see inside is a staircase. The gate is locked. You have to be buzzed in by a resident to get in. There's no front attention to hear you. The building's buzzer is just a layout of a big button on a panel. Nothing too fancy. Bloop. The key card lock doesn't respond very well to your ID. Greetings, guests. I am LJ2, Shotaro Atsuka's ROM. Shotaro was not expecting any company at this hour, but I will let him know you are here. Sorry for the wait. Please hold on for just a minute while I fetch him. That's encouraging. Maybe try the bell again? Stygian? Greetings, guests. I am LJ2, Shotaro Atsuka's ROM. Shotaro was not expecting any company at this hour, but I will let him know you are here. Sorry for the wait. Please hold on for just a moment while I fetch him. Again? That was odd. What is taking so long? Once more? Alright, third time's the charm, right? Once more with feelings, Stygian. Dumb robots. Burned! Bloop means nope. What are you doing? What are you looking for? Well, hurry up, babe. Hurry. Is that it?
Yes, I need this.
Okay. Close my door, please, okay? Shotaro is not expecting any company. I'm not gonna reread this. One of these days I'm going to blow a fuse! Thank Hayden for system redundancies. Well, that's that. Let's see if we can find a way into Mr. Atsuka's apartment ourselves. Mr. Atsuka's apartment is on the second floor. This fire escape should give us access to his window. We just need something to reach it. I'm sure there's a piece of detritus or loose end laying around that we could use. That's how these things always work. The paint itself is locked, of course. You look pretty suspicious trying that. Let's shoot it. Oh. How do we reach that? Help me! We weren't prepared for the weather, huh? Your ROM looks fancy enough for that. How about that? You want my umbrella? Not for the weather. We need to use the hook handle to reach the fire escape ladder so we can pull it down. Oh, you live here and lost your keycard, huh? I totally understand. I do that all the time. But look, as much as I'd love to give you this umbrella, I'm kind of using it right now. Where I come from, see, we're all about equal trades. It's part of our culture. Gym culture. Sorry, but unless you've got anything interesting to exchange for it, I'm gonna hold on to this. I don't want to get wet. Whoops. I've got a gun. Give me your umbrella. These are pretty cool, but I'm not big into music. I like video games more, and there's no mic on the headset. Whoa, calm down, calm down. I'll give you the umbrella. What? She wasn't going to shoot you. Oh. Then you can't have it. Never mind, I am gonna shoot you! That group is gross. You're not part of that, are you? Hey! Is this real? The real Yannick Fairlight? You know him? Of course I do! He's one of the most innovative tech minds of the last few generations. Can I please have this? I'll give you the umbrella. Yours to keep if you want. I think it's a fair trade, and I don't think she has a problem with it either. Do you, Stygian? No. Fairlight's card removed from the items. Thanks! Here you go. Umbrella. This is so exciting! I'm gonna go call him right now. What? Call him? Maybe that wasn't the best idea. Oh well, now we have our tool, and a pretty spiffy one at that. Let's go. Excellent work, Stygian. We keep going up. Oh. These apartments get plenty of light, apparently. Or they would if all the blinds for this unit weren't closed. This one's locked. You can't get inside through here. Oh, there's an open. It's also hard to reach. And it would be dangerous to try and climb through from the wall. This window is unlocked. Let's go in. Uh-oh, bad smell. Oops. What's this? There we go. Yep. Ugh, what's that smell, Turing? I don't like this. I'm not sure, Stygian. My olfactory sensors detect chemicals associated with decaying food, and something else I can't pin down. A body? It's unfamiliar to me. Oh. That's better. Let's take a look around. Oh, it is a body. There's a guy sitting here. Oh, his ROM! Shitaro's ROM. It called itself LJ2, right? Let's look everywhere but the body. This Christmas tree might be small, but it has a lot of spirit. It may be a pocket tree, but don't pickpocket it. An old greasy bag of to and fro, a fast food chain the state is famous for. Flies are circling like vultures. Ugh. This panel controls lights and air conditioning of the whole apartment. There's no one to buzz in. Also, that would be weird. Intake WUB speakers. They use these wires to connect to the receiver. You'd think a guy like Shitaro would be more tech forward. Be careful! If you accidentally disconnect them, you'll never be able to get those things working again. A vintage Yorks amp. It has a connector for plugging in old phones. Whoa! You fiddle with the dial. You toggle some switches. Ooh. I thought you would like that, Rampuma. The protocols used by the GX Ultra Beats weren't around back when this baby was built. A collection of books about writing. On writing good. You leaf through a book about creating compelling articles. You flip through a guide on making proper citations and then another section about engaging your readers. The ROM just sits there. It appears to be powered down. It doesn't respond to your touch, and there's no power switch. You hear absolutely nothing. It can't scan anything while it's powered down, and it doesn't need this info anyway. A fancy newsfeed made of multiple streams on the mesh idly play on the TV. Muted. They were just talking about an incident that occurred outside the KOSSIO building. A fancy newsfeed made of multiple streams. You can't find any way to work the TV. The flat screen is bare, embedded in the wall. There are no buttons or controls to be found. Shotaro must be plugged into the mesh. He hasn't even noticed us. I feel like I could scream without him knowing. Ah! Mr. Atsuka! Nothing. Hello, guest. I'm Mr. Atsuka's ROM. LJ2. Welcome. He's so cute. Shotaro has been a bit under the weather recently, so he has not been receiving anyone. He is trying very hard to keep up with his deadlines, but I will check and see if he has a moment to speak with you. We just checked and he seems busy. Is there anything else I might assist you with? A drink, perhaps? I want a Hassie. How long has your owner been ill? Is your owner still making blog updates? When was your last diagnostic check? How long has your owner been ill? Shotaro has been a bit under the weather for some time, but I cannot tell you precisely when. He rarely has visitors or goes on outings, so this is only slightly abnormal behavior for him. In fact, you are the first visitor he's had in a while. A Hassie. Sounds tasty. Several days, in fact. Perhaps you could ask him about it yourself. I will check and see if he has a moment to speak with you. Is your owner still making blog updates? He is. Shotaro is a diligent man, even in the face of such adversity. If you are a reader of his work, his next significant piece will be going online tomorrow. I will not spoil it for you. Aw, thank you, LJ2. When was your last diagnostic check? I run regular self-checks and have noticed no irregularities in either my hardware or software. I appreciate your concern. If you think I am behaving erratically, perhaps you can mention it to Shotaro. He is skilled at maintenance. Never mind. Very well. Let me know if you need anything. I'm always happy to assist. Oh god! That sound. It scared me. Oh no! We're too late! How long has he been here? It looks like he's been here for a couple of days. Maybe a little longer. That means whoever did this, did it before we even found out about all of this. Stabbed in the chest, right through the back of the chair. Looks like it severed his carotid artery. I don't want to make any assumptions, but I can't help but wonder if this was done by the same person who assaulted Zen. His ROM doesn't even think anything is wrong. We need to hurry. If I'm right, everyone we've talked to so far is in more danger than we thought. Someone is cleaning up. We have to find his computer so I can see if I can pull anything relevant off of it. You interrogate his ROM. Maybe you can find out why it's acting so strange. I hate this. We shouldn't disturb him. No wonder LJ2 is malfunctioning. There's no sense in talking to a corpse, Stygian. Yeah, the poor robot. What a blocky desk. There aren't any drawers or shelves. Shotaro has been a bit under the weather recently, so he's not been receiving anyone. He is trying very hard to keep up with his deadlines, but I will check and see if he has a moment to speak with you. That's okay. We'll wait. Is there anything else I might assist you with? A drink, perhaps? Oh, I don't want to tell him! Shotaro is dead, LJ2. Aww. No! It shut itself down again, Stygian. Let's see if we can pull some useful information off of Mr. Atsuka's computer, if we can find it. You nudge the little ROM, but nothing happens. There's no response at all. Aww. The poor robot. His computer, where is it? Wait, who knew ROM snored? Can't find any way to work the TV. Oh, it's touch sensitive. The entire desk must be Mr. Atsuka's computer. Mr. Atsuka's latest articles, some dated as recently as today. I'll start downloading these files. I finished my examination of Mr. Atsuka's computer, Stygian. I didn't find anything particularly interesting, but I copied some files to be examined later. If we're all done here, we should hurry and go warn Charlie, Sympathy, and perhaps even Nonya about what we found. They may be in immediate danger, so we must act quickly. No, LJ2. It makes me sad. Another touch and the display fades. The displays fade. Well, can we take his presents? He's not gonna open them. I know finding work has been hard for you, but stealing Christmas presents? He's dead. Put the present down! Now! Alright, let's leave this how we left it. Hey! Let there be light! I want to leave it the way we left it. Okay. Leave? Let's go. Is he standing outside? He's a big guy. Shit! What the hell are you doing back here? Wait, let me guess. You stole some of my files, or hacked my brain, or used telepathy or some shit. Found out someone else got hit by your little ghost in the machine, and when you got there, you found out he was deader than a new disco. That close enough? That is distressingly correct. Well, it wasn't much of a damn guess. Charlie is dead? What? Charlie is... The autocab he was in drove him right off a bridge and into the bay. It's been all over the news over the last hour, and I'm not looking to be on the news next. I'm getting the hell out of Neo San Francisco, and I'm gonna forget that I ever saw you, ever knew Charlie, ever gave a shit about any of this. Hell, maybe I'll pick up a new career. I'm less likely to get murdered for being a fry cook, and that's for damn sure. I'm out of here. Oh no! No, 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 no! Why is this happening? There was no one in that car! No heat signatures, no wireless emissions, nothing! There wasn't even an auto cab! It's a manual! How is that even possible? I don't know! I don't know! I don't know! That's it! This is too much! I've had enough. I don't care who's controlling the news anymore. Everyone we've talked to so far has died, and I can't live with any more blood on my hands. We're done investigating this lead. As of right now. It's not our fault. Okay, if that's what you want. It's not our fault, Turing. Logically, I know that, Stygian. We haven't set out to harm anyone. But someone is using us as a stalking horse, hiding behind our investigation to clean up whatever this is. If they want to keep digging up people involved in this, they're going to have to do it without our help. We don't have any other leads anyway. Thank you for sticking with me, though. We have more pressing avenues of query to make. Let's move on. Man, what the hell just happened? Chapter 4. Well, we should go to Melody's home and at least meet her. Oh, okay. Turing has been withdrawn and anxious since the news of Hayden's death. Yeah, it's getting real. Aw, thanks for the hug. That's cute. You can explore my functions later, Stygian. If you examine those headphones on the items menu of your Lips Type M mobile device, you will be able to play any kind of music you like. Oh. I know your name, Stygian. Alright, let's talk to this person. It looks like all the places that we went to before are gone now. The Flower Mansion. Something wrong? Oh! I'm sorry, Stygian. I was wool gathering. What? I see we've arrived at the Melody Florist residence. It's quite impressive. But that's to be expected, considering that she is still the majority owner of the Flower Cybernetics Group, despite retiring from day-to-day operations at the company. I wonder how she and Hayden first began working together. Sorry, back on task. Is there anything you'd like to know before we head inside? Give me a rundown of this Flower Cybernetics. Flower Cybernetics was established in the early 2000s by Melody's mother. It started out developing cutting-edge medical tech, including advanced prosthetics and nanoparticle diagnostics and treatment technologies. They were vastly successful when they perfected the first synthetic nerve mesh, allowing direct connection and control between the nervous system and a cybernetic prosthesis. The majority of their early projects were defense technologies for the American military, developing ruggedized military prosthesis for use on injured soldiers, and then eventually electively for special forces. This research line culminated in the development of brain-controlled androids as shock troops, long since barred by international law. Melody took over the company from her aging mother, and she fought against developing further military hardware from that point on. She pushed the company to use the BCA technology for the company's original goals of medical advancements, as well as developing the first direct link virtual reality implants. The company is largely successful on a global scale, despite continued legislative movement against extensive cybernetic use, especially brain implants. Okay, what can you tell me about Melody? Not a whole lot. She's largely private, in contrast to her mother's penchant for courting a media circus. Several biographies of former Flower executives show her as intensely passionate about demilitarizing the company, to the point of absolute viciousness in the boardroom. But it's been a long time since her days of fighting for the company, and she's since stepped away from the helm. There's talk that she's lost her spine in her old age, but... well, I'd take that with a grain of salt, Stygian. She may have retreated from the corporate battlefield, but you don't change the entire direction of a company as large as Flower if you're a quitter. Stay on your toes. Didn't Yannick say he and Melody had a falling out? He did, and I can't shine much light on that. I know that System 1 worked with Flower to help develop the first operating systems for the direct link virtual reality implants, so perhaps it happened during that time. Also, Flower eventually went with a different company for future models of the implant, but there was never any public talk of a personal falling out between the heads of the companies. I'll scrape the mesh for more rumors, but they'll only be that. Rumors. I can do my best to parse fact from fiction, but it blurs too much for me to be sure what's real. Alright, let's go ahead and head in. No time like the present, then. A bear statue. Small-scale bear statues guard the entrance to the mansion. They'd look cuter if they had little outfits on. What? You can't take it. Not marble, nor the gilded monuments. Don't destroy the Urson aesthetic. The statue's head is too big to fit them on. No sweet jams for the bears. Poor bears. Besides, it needs some sunglasses if it's gonna commit to that look. Hey baby, what's Ursine? Or your sign? I would say Ursine. But I think it's supposed to sound like your sign. Hello, Pro Bear Cub. How are you doing? Talk to. The silence is unbearable. These tall shrubs could line the estate of a Victorian duke. They're that stuffily pleasant to look at. Good, I'm glad you're doing well. They have the stale beauty that only come from the care of obligated professionals. These evergreens are perfectly sculpted. Be careful not to wreck the mold if you touch. It's chapter 4. It just started. Stygian, don't treat the junipers like arbor vitaes. Okay. Let's peek in the window. Windows line the front of the house and broadcast the hints of an expertly designed den inside. It's framed with light blue curtains that probably cost more than your rent each. The anguish cry of the window cleaner bellows in your soul as you smudge up one of the panes. Let's listen to it. Listening to windows proves rather melancholy. Leaves you with a lot to reflect on. Let's just... This. 2 dark wooden doors make up the mansion's entranceway. A small foyer can be seen in the mottled glass. This looks like the buzzer for the apartment complex. They need one of these just for one house? Can we talk to it? You can't use the speaker without ringing the bell. Yeah. Whoa. It's a bear! Is Melody home? Is that a bear? You know what? I don't even want to know. Oh, is Melody home? Roar. Aww. It's Akuma? Your guess is as good as mine, Stygian. Mine says we can go in. Should we? Yeah, let's go in. What is this? Oh, Swanky. Swanky? What? I've been trying to increase my usage of colloquialisms. Is Swanky too out of date? I'll say. It was out of fashion back when I used to care about what was in style. Oh! Miss Forrest! Excuse us for the intrusion. I'm cheering. Oh. I know who you are. Yannick isn't the only one with little birds to chirp in his ear. Curse him to the pit. Eep. We can explain. No. Don't even start. If I thought you were Yannick's, I would have just had Pat here eat you both when he came to my door. Oh, his name's Pat. Is he waving at us, or is he patting his face? He would have done it gladly, too. Oh. Fine, not eaten. He's on a diet. But perhaps a light mauling. Look, this philosophy is how I lead my life. Sometimes you eat the bear, and sometimes the bear, well, he eats you. Rawr. He has a bow tie. Well, stop lurking and let's chat. I don't have all day to entertain you, Turing, nor your journalist friend. Not even for Hayden. You don't have time to waste if you're going to find him, either. He's dead, isn't he? Right. Oh, it's a cat! The most regal-looking robotic cat in the world sits prim and proper on the fainting chair. If it spoke any languages outside of robotic meows, it could probably trace its lineage back to the cradle of jungle cat civilization. We pet it? Ooh! You give the cat a pet. The name on her collar says Lily. Don't crowd the cat. Robot felines are double humorless. It looks remarkably bored at all attempts at conversation. Well then. It already knows who you are, and it is unimpressed. I want to talk to you, pet. Melody keeps unusual company. Ursus maritimus, or maritimus, if I'm not mistaken. That might be why the temperature controls are set to low in here. Yeah, definitely a polar bear. It's Ice Bear. I wasn't aware you knew the scientific name of the species, Stygian. Has my interest in proper nomenclature started to rub off on you? He's a white bear. Turing, what else could he be? Plenty! Have you ever heard of a Kermode bear? Also known as a spirit bear? Or he could be a white-faced black bear, or even a Pisley? But he's not. It's a polar bear. So many things to look at. A large climate-controlled globe towers in the lounge. It has some lively in-season plants inside. A Malcolm model Rom is tending to the garden. A huge marble fountain adorns the courtyard. Its pleasant bubbling sound can just barely be heard over the TV and outdoor ambience. If we can't hear. Whoops. You know what? I wonder if I can play the music from. Ah, yeah. I don't think that's the one I was looking for, though. No, I can't find it. Oh well. Oh, what? Whoa! The little helmet he wears is constantly translating the TV into growls and grunts in his ears so he can understand. The Spear is probably obsessed with reality television by now. So, grr and stuff. Does a bear you know, never mind. An RO51E, I'm gonna call it Rosie, 893 unit. From the emblem on its side, it sits patiently near Pat in a sort of ambient sleep mode, playing light instrumental music. Ooh, strawberries. They look too good to eat. That might be the point. But I want one. A thin string of steam escapes the delicate spout. The handling of the teapot is strictly the domain of the host's servants, at least in homes of this class. Well, I'm not going to shoot the strawberries. The biggest strawberries you have ever seen are assembled in a china bowl on the coffee table. A plush purple fainting chair dominates the room. A pair of wide window doors are set open in the back of the room, leading to a plush garden. Melody Flores, nanomachine heiress and the owner of the Flower Cybernetics Group. Try again when you have a trust fund and hold a majority of a Fortune 500 company. Do you think something so banal as rainfall is ever a concern for someone like me? Sorry. You have me at a disadvantage, Miss Flores. You seem far more familiar with me than I you. Have we met? It's just Melody, Turing. And no, we've never met, though considering how often Hayden harassed me for design schematics of Flower's latest neural implants, I might as well be your aunt? We'll go with that. I wouldn't mind being an aunt, even to a blue-headed robot. I'm touched, Melody. We are hoping you might be able to shine some light on my origins. Fairlight mentioned that you had worked with Hayden in the past. We haven't had access to any of his research notes, and couldn't track down any collaborators he may have been working with. Perhaps if we know more, we might be able to nail down a solid motive. Well, I don't know if I can speculate on that, beyond typical corporate, infighting? Not that Parallax is known for that, of course. Still, I'm willing to answer your questions, for now. How did you and Hayden end up working on Turing? Can you tell us about yourself? Okay, tell us about yourself. Tisk. This is why I don't talk to journalists. They all want to pry into my life. Can't you wait for my autobiography? I promise I'm working on it. Pinky promise. We don't want to pressure you, Melody, but every bit of information we can get could be useful in pointing us towards the individuals that attacked Hayden. Alright. Off the record? Of course. Fine. Ask away. What's your history with Flower? How are you involved? Okay. What's your history with Flower? Well, Mommy Dearest first started the company half a century ago and quickly let it turn from a cutting-edge medical research group into a Department of Defense super soldier cyborg factory. I took over when she got lymphoma and had to fight tooth and nail to turn Flower into something that churned my guts a little less. Now we're back to making medical tech and consumer neural implants rather than brains inside tin cans with lasers strapped to the front. If the US government wants more war-grade cyborgs, then they'll have to get them somewhere elsewhere. Never mind them being banned by the Geneva Convention. I guess that's the gist of it, unless you want the sordid details of the 2 decades of board meetings I had to fight through until I managed to buy back a majority stake in the company. No, that seems to line up with what the Mesh says. Well, I'm happy the Mesh manages to get something right at least. How are you involved in the company today? Ha! I'm not. I mean, I still own the damn thing, but frankly I'm tired. I let the current CEO and board do what they want, with the understanding that I will shit-can them if they do anything egregiously stupid. Like, say, create more cyborg assassin war machines. These days I mostly spend my time talking to Pat and practicing my painting. You paint? What a coincidence! I love painting! What do you do? Oh, nothing fantastic, just still life mostly. I'll never be known for my artistic skills, but I enjoy it. It's very meditative, isn't it? I agree, very much. I look forward to when all of this is over and I can get back to my canvases. Would you mind taking a look at my work? Since you're my aunt and all. Ha! Well, we can play a little. I'll show you mine if you show me yours. Tee-hee! It's a date! What's the deal with Pat? Aww. Pat is a prototype as well. Flower had a short-lived project that attempted to use neural implants to increase the cognitive power of non-human animals. It worked to an extent. Pat's smarter than the average bear, but not by much. Wow. Oh, be quiet. After the project was squashed, mostly for being a money pit, Pat was the only surviving success story. The eggheads didn't know what to do with him, so I decided to keep him around here. He's not a bad companion, if a tad taciturn. Give it up, Pat. You're no Shakespeare. Ha ha ha! I'd like to ask something else. Sure. A war bear! How did you and Hayden end up working together on Turing? Indeed! I don't see the connection between your company and Hayden's research into machine sapience. Oh, Hayden wasn't researching machine sapience. Yeah, I like Pat so far. There haven't been too many likable characters. Some of them are dead. Let's see. Well, I'm not saying I don't like any of the characters, but I think he's the most unique, and I like unique characters. I like Jess, too. Oh, Hayden wasn't researching machine sapience. At least not primarily. Not to diminish the importance of your creation, Turing, but Hayden is mainly interested in developing a way to transfer human consciousness into a machine matrix. You can see why neural implants would obviously be an integral part of that. Oh, I didn't realize. How would Turing's development help with digitizing human mind? Can you elaborate on your involvement? Well, the concept of transferring the human mind into a computer has been an attractive goal for decades. Functional immortality is a powerful lure. The brain is an immensely complicated machine, and even though we know the right parts to push to make pictures show up, we still can't replicate the entire thing as a technological construct. Even with virtual reality implants, we're really just relying on the brain's ability to make sense of nonsensical signals. The implant is just a signal pipe, and the brain does all the real processing. That's why the acclimation period for a direct link implant is like being stuck on low-grade hallucinogens for a whole week. So Hayden decided the best way to make a machine more like the human brain would be to work in the opposite direction. Instead of mimicking the mechanics of the human brain, he started writing code that mimicked the function of the human mind, and assumed the architecture behind it would suit both purposes. Think of it like convergent evolution. Two different species developing the same adaptation to solve the same problem, but continents apart. Hayden is a crack programmer when it comes to information collating. That's how he made his name on Parallax, in Parallax in the first place. So he wrote a bunch of baffling self-modifying learning algorithms and let them loose. Poke and prod them here and there to make sure they value the same things humans do. And we eventually end up with you, Turing. Interesting. Hayden never revealed any of this to me. I imagine he's pretty tight-lipped. You were the first prototype he considered a real success, and he was afraid of contaminating your development before he had a chance to make good observations. Okay, can you elaborate on your involvement? Fair. Hayden and I have been aware of each other for years, but I can't say we've ever been friends or anything like that at all. It's a small city, and if you're in tech sector, you are never more than 2 degrees removed from anyone else. When he started looking into this pet project of his, he came right up to my door and demanded access to the research logs behind our earlier implants. Cheeky, but it was impactful and disruptive, as they like to say around here. He needed the logs to better understand the way the implant handled directly. He needed the logs to better understand the way the implant handled directing sensory data to the right parts of the brain, and he tried to mimic that in your software. I didn't care less about Flower's patents anymore, so I gave him what he wanted, just to see what he would do. I'm frankly more impressed than I expected I would be, but I didn't tell him I said that. Oh, but don't tell him I said that. Don't worry. Hayden wasn't invested in Turing's development. I didn't say that. Hayden was quite interested in Turing, even if he is just a step to further research. In fact, he's preparing to publish his findings involving Turing, and I know it's going to make one heck of a splash in the scientific community. See, the most impressive part about you, Turing, is that you're surprisingly stock. I assure you, Melody, my construction involves only the latest and greatest in ROM prototype technology. Exactly. You're not off the shelf, but you're still just a souped-up ROM. More or less like every other one out there. Your personality algorithms are impressive, but they don't require some new space-age technology to work. Hayden is going to propose that human consciousness transference does not require special brain-like hardware architecture, but merely the right software wrapper to interface with the hardware. Much like how you function. I suppose that's correct. Still, my personality matrices do take up substantial amounts of my processing power. Wouldn't custom hardware have capabilities that better serve such a demanding specialized task? Sure, there's still plenty of reason in trying to make a computer that works just like a human brain. Efficiency is an important part of that. But if Hayden can emulate the human mind in existing technology, it means we can start with the immortality now, rather than waiting for hardware to catch up with Hayden's software. I'm not terribly interested in living forever, but there's more than enough people who are to make even a temporary stepping stone important. Thank you for this, Melody. I understand so little of my origins. Well, I'm sorry I don't know more of the specifics. Hayden kept me up to date on his progress, but only in the vaguest of ways. If you can hunt down his notes, I'm sure they'll tell you more. Of course. We'll keep looking. Now, perhaps we could ask some other questions. Sure. What's the story between you and Fairlight? Oh hell, that old bastard and I have been flashing daggers at each other for the better part of 20 years. I contracted out the software development for our first-gen direct-link VR neural implants to System 1. Things were going great, but after the first models sold like gangbusters, Yannick tried to get into bed with me, literally. I turned him down, very politely, I might add, and then suddenly all the cooperation between our companies dried up. We've been at it back and forth ever since. I'd be damn careful about trusting him if I were you. He's a snake, and he'll do anything he can to get what he wants. Still, I suppose if he tried again now, I might not turn him down. It would be fun to needle him about me. Still having my own company when he doesn't have his. Ha 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 ha. I think that's everything we need to know. Good. I can get back to my retirement. Thank you for your time, Melody. We'll be in touch later. Oh, one more piece of information for you, if you'd like it. I've got the contact info for a Vincent Mensa, who I think might be of help to you. Vincent was working more closely with Hayden inside Parallax, mostly on his company-approved research on data collating algorithms for the mesh. I'll send him a message and ask him to meet you somewhere. He owes me a favor anyway. I might be able to give you some more information on anything else Hayden may have been working on. That would be fantastic, Melody! Perhaps Golden Gate Park? That's public and crowded for the safety of us all. That should work. Be careful out there, Turing. I'd hate to see this get you killed. I will exercise caution, Melody, but I have contacts that can affect only repairs, any repairs I may need. You don't understand. Hayden's design uses your base hardware configuration to generate your core personality profile. Each repair will make the little idiosyncrasies of your hardware mismatched against your personality algorithms. Too much change and the whole thing collapses. You'll have to be rebooted from scratch. So, I'm sorry to say, but you're as mortal as the rest of us, Turing. I didn't know. Yeah, I can tell. You really need to get your hands on Hayden's files. There's plenty I don't know, so maybe I'm wrong. I only remember some of what Hayden told me about how he put you together. Just look out for yourself. I will. Thank you. Bye, Pat. Pat is Melody's butler, not yours. He will offer service when and only when his mistress permits. Pat, what are the burdens you bear? Oh. Pat, what is the meaning of life? Wolf? No, he's not amused by my barking. So, Gur and stuff. What's this show? The latest episode of Media Blitz is going into the sordid details of a new teen actor's island love affair with a local politician's daughter. Okay. Did I look at the ROM? Oh, the Rosie, that's right. Oh, it was nicknamed the Jane Austen Bot by Assets Magazine a few years back in its annual Mandatory Machines issue. Okay. Nah, okay. Let's leave. Bye, Pat. Is Pat a boy or a girl? I don't know. I'm kidding. I'm pretty sure they addressed him as a he. Oh, map. Go. GG Park. I think we've been here before. Yeah, we have. Ah, and it's this music. What is this? It's been vandalized. What's this? A chalk doodle of the police ROM that some kids drew. Aw, there's a smiley sun. Yeah, I know Pat's a boy. I was making fun of Saturday Night Live, where it's like there was a person named Pat and they couldn't tell if it was a boy or a girl. Despite its current state, the real police ROM is probably still more helpful to speak to than this drawing. You'd make a lot of kids, and probably Turing, upset if you wrecked it. Okay, definitely Turing too. Is that Alfie? Who's that little guy? You reach out your hand and he ducks his head lower. What? What? It's only been a few days, but I really do wish I could get back to my painting. Back to something normal. I feel caught in a loop. I run through the facts over and over, but I get nowhere. Maybe if I put it on paper, something will make sense. Or maybe it'll just be cathartic. I don't really know what else to do. That'll be one hell of a tree painting. You'll have time, Turing, soon. True. I will endeavor to place these things aside for now. We have too much to do to allow my worrying to get in our way. There will be time and space for all of my angst and self-recriminations later. I'll make sure of it. Heh. I need to refill my cool, refreshing water. Go, water, go! It looks like some older kids got their artistic expression out on the poor police ROM. They covered up its eye with spray paint. That spray paint isn't coming off, and you'll probably irritate them more if you start prodding. How come we don't carry anything useful, like soap or a sponge? Well, we had disgusting milk. Who is there? I cannot see a thing. I shall make a note to request more street lamps in this park. This is much too dark an area. Poor thing. It can't see at all with its optics painted over like that. It doesn't even know. The chatter of the Neo SFPD police stream fills your ears. Is this even legal? The Froyo stand. Let's take some stuff. Yep, that's the sound of a demolished Froyo stand. You can't get Froyo today. The entire stand was destroyed. Let's shoot Alfie. Alright, let's talk to you. Talk to Guy. You've never seen this person, and they appear to be waiting for somebody. Perhaps this is who you're supposed to meet. Can I help you with something? I don't really have time to talk. I'm waiting for someone. Are you Vincent Mensa? We're here for a meeting on behalf of Melody Flores. Don't shoot Alfie! Fine, I didn't shoot him. Oh, good. You're Melody's people. Do you have the thing that I asked for? Ah. There must be some miscommunication. Melody said that you would be able to provide us with some information about Hayden Weber's projects within Parallax. He has gone missing, and any information we could get may be useful.
Okay.
Hurry, babe.
Hurry.
Okay. Close my door, please, okay? Come on, don't do it like that. Don't do it like that. Don't do it like that. Sorry about that. Damn that old woman. We had a deal. She promised me those things, and I'm not giving her anything until I get them. I already know Hayden is missing. Why else would I be willing to sell corporate secrets to Flower? This was my chance to get away from Parallax. Instead, she sends the two of you, hat in hand, with none of the things I need. I'm assuming you're Hayden's little pet AI? Insulting, but accurate. Look, it's not that I don't want to help. I do. Hayden was a colleague and a friend. But if I just hand over his research, I lose most of my leverage. I need help getting the hell out of here. I'll just have to shop it around again, since Flower isn't interested in information on Parallax's new big project. Maybe after I get a buyer, I'll be able to pass it to you. Perhaps we could assist you. My friend here is a terrific journalist. Being skilled at hunting down people and information is her job. I don't know. Look, I need 100,000 credits cash, fake passports for me and my wife, and an untraceable car. If you can get me that, I can get the hell out of here and get to Canada. And I'll give you anything you want. Hayden's research notes, what I know about Parallax, my company's security credentials. Whatever. I just can't stay in Neo San Francisco anymore. We might be able to do that. Might? Do you mind answering some other questions first? What? Why? Melody only gave us a rough sketch of what you need. The more you can tell us about the situation, the sooner we can fulfill your request. Okay, sure. As long as it isn't any of the juicy stuff. What do you do for Parallax? I'm the head applications engineer for their data analysis division. Or maybe was is what I should be saying. If Hayden is the big brain who comes up with the map that I can't read. If Hayden is the big brain who comes up with the map that runs the search algorithms, I'm the guy who figures out how to collect and apply the data we get. We've worked pretty closely for years, but he is head and shoulders above me as far as theory goes. I just build stuff out of the things he hands me. I don't think you're giving yourself enough credit here, Vincent. Hayden was just a computer scientist, if a good one. Was? A slip of the tongue. I'm still getting used to my independence from him. Huh. And that right there proves my point. Hayden built a fully independent machine intelligence in his spare time. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to bash myself here. I'm a good software engineer, probably one of the best. But machine intelligence? In a form factor like yours? Now that blows my mind. We've got a full immersion virtual reality and brains and boxes running around inside android shells, yet most people would still call you science fiction. If you say so. I do. Why are you so adamant about getting out of Neo San Francisco? Because Parallax is rotting from the inside out. Hayden going missing is the last straw. There's... What's the best way of saying this without giving away their game? This new project that is about to roll out is likely to change everything about how Parallax does their business. Not in an end-user kind of way, but everything behind the scenes will certainly change. We've had some board shakeups since the launch of the MeshNet, and the people at the top are different from the ones who've previously run the company. They're harder, more ruthless, and more concerned with profits than ever before. The altruism the company has displayed in the past is gone, and this new project has promised to give the board owners more power. Not just richest company in the valley power either. Real power. They got rid of Hayden because he was about to publish something that would get in the way of that. And not to be too dramatic, but I think they got rid of him for good, too. Rumors and speculation, but... Anyway, if they're willing to get rid of the brightest mind on their payroll, what's to stop them from getting rid of me? There's half a dozen people who could do my job. So I'm getting out before I accidentally step on the wrong person's toes and end up at the bottom of the bay or whatever. Do you know anything about Hayden's disappearance? Nothing concrete. I probably wouldn't have noticed anything out of the ordinary. I mean, Hayden goes out for a couple of days all the time, right? Conferences and guest teaching. He doesn't exactly share his itinerary with me. But they cleared out his office, revoked his security clearances, and confiscated anything he had been working on with other divisions. I asked around, and no one will say anything. If he had jumped ship, went to a different company, it would be the talk of the week at the water coolers. Instead, dead silence. Thankfully, he allowed me to keep backups of most of his work, simply because I cross-referenced it so much. He didn't like having it all in one place anyway. Other than that, I don't know anything specific. Thank you. We'll go get the things for you. Sure. I guess I can stick around here for a while. I need to make some calls anyway. If you do manage to get what I need, I'll give you anything you want. Forwarding photos and info for the passports to Turing now. And I really hope you can do this. I'd rather give it to you than some other corporation anyway. See you soon! I'm not quite sure where to get fake passports or an untraceable car. The only shady folks we know are those kids who vandalized Hayden's apartment. I doubt they could point us in the right direction, but a long shot is better than no shot. They might agree to help us in repayment for the damage done to the apartment. They seemed remorseful. We should check Market Street for them, in case they regularly hang out there. As for the rest, perhaps Dr. Fairlight or Melody could spot us the cash. 100,000 is no small amount, but is unlikely to cause much consternation for either of them, assuming they're as dedicated to helping as they claim. Melody is assumably home as usual, and Fairlight did let us know he'd be at the hospital. We could ask either of them for assistance. I don't trust Fairlight. Market Street. Where to go? Firelight. I think you mean Fairlight. And Cahoots. There we go. Oh, did he fix himself? It didn't look like it was snowing. Yay! Join the human revolution and help stop the rampant spread of dangerous and uncontrollable technologies. There they are. He looks weird here. Just want to make sure there's nothing different over here. No. Hassie. Oh crap! It's that reporter and her bot again. Cheese it, Ollie. Hold on a moment. We're just here to ask the two of you for a favor. You don't need to run again. Feh. I knew you didn't have the guts to mess with me. Guts? Starfucker. Now why would we want to help you? We did trash that apartment, Chad. Yeah, so? We also didn't report you to the police for it. Yeah, so? And they still could. Oh. Alright, well, spill it then. I ain't got all day. Can't you see me and Oliver are busy men? I think I like Oliver, he's funny. We need some assistance with some illicit activity that, statistically, individuals your age bracket would likely have experience with. Oh, so this is one of those things where you need a streetwise kid to show you the ropes. I love VRs like that. So what's the thread? B&E, war driving, copyright infringement, search bombing. Is search bombing actually illegal? It's against the terms of service, so probably. At least in California. We need some fake IDs today if possible. Oh, that's nothing if you can pay. Ollie. Ollie can whip up a couple that'll work good enough to get you past a bouncer or a cop doing sniff tests. He's a wizard with a printer and a lifted wallet. It's more complicated than that. We need falsified passport IDs that can get someone safely past the border. Oh. Yeah, I don't think Ollie can do that. Can you? Not without equipment a lot more expensive and illegal than what I already have. What about the guy who got Elise that unrestricted mesh card when she was on probation? This guy? Or the other guy? They kind of both have punchable faces. That's not really the same thing, Chad. But I can give him a call. Give me a few minutes. This guy is pretty sketchy. Very cloak and dagger. Whoops. I'll have to play middleman. Excellent. I'll forward you the relevant documents and photos. Oh man! Now I'm starting to feel left out. Ollie gets to show off all his cool connections. You sure you don't need someone's head kicked in a little? That's my area of expertise in our little duo. Well, that and petty larceny. We might have something that will suit your skill set. Let's just get the passports first. Awesome! You ain't so bad for a tin can. Honestly? I'm composed almost entirely out of plasteel and silica, Chad. Has no one come up with better insults for robots since the turn of the century? ROMs have been out for almost a decade. Yeah, that's a good point. Give me a sec. I'm pretty good at name calling too. Oh no, I'm sorry I brought it up. Just hold on a second. Undercloaked, Bit brain. Don't hurt yourself, Chad. I'll get back to you, Bubblehead. You know, you're a lot more chatty than any of the ROMs I've ever owned. What's the deal, Stygian? Did you install some new conversation routines Ollie ain't got the chance to nerd out about yet? They're top-notch, very bleeding edge. I don't run traditional ROM VI personality software. I am, in fact, the first fully sapient machine intelligence. Well, at least that my creator knew about. Which means what, exactly? In English! It means he's a person, Chad, not a toy. Oops. Now, keep it down. I'm still on the phone. Oops. And yes, what he said. Okay, I talked to the guy. He said he'll do it, but he only works in trade. A couple of passports are gonna run us. One signed poster for Magical Commando Yukino. Yukino at the gates to the deep. Feh! Of course. It's always that Japanese crap. It's not my fault they make the best VR dramas. Maybe you can do better? Probably. Anyway, where can we get this poster? I'm not sure. Probably nearby. I've done switches with this guy before, and he never asks for something that'll take too long to get. We'll help you look for it. Chad and Oliver joined your party? Alright. I wanna look at the umbrella. A purple umbrella of the older variety. Kitschy? You're starting to use big words I can't even pronounce. No, I want to click this. Yay! I want to buy this soundtrack just to listen to this song. All the songs are really good though. Oh! There it is! I knew I saw a poster for Magical Commando Yukino somewhere around here. I should have remembered Ramona would have one. You know this lady? Sure, we talk sometimes when I'm getting our drinks. You're usually too busy provoking people to notice. Yeah, whatever. There's a bit of a line. We'll have to wait a few minutes before we can talk to her. We could just snatch the thing and run. I'm a fan of the smash and grab. Simple and effective. We can't do that. She knows who we are. Us, too. This is the most boring felony I've ever been an accessory to. Look, we'll just stand in line. Like a bunch of clumps? Chumps? What is the big picture anyway, Blue Bomber? I'm not sure it's wise to spread it around, Chad. For either of us. The less you know, the less reason anyone has to bother you. Screw that static. I'm not heading to Juvie not knowing what for. Spill the beans, or I'll spill them for you. Your persistence is already legendary, Chad. Fine. If you really must know, we're going to trade the passports for some information regarding the disappearance of my creator, the culprit behind which being Parallax. His apartment was the one you trashed. Oh, shit. That Hayden dude is your dad? And they snatched him? That's so messed up. Well, dad after a fashion. He raised me. Man, I hope you find the dudes that took him. I hope he's okay. It seems very unlikely. Oh man. I don't know what to say, you know. I mean, I still have my dad, but he's... Chad. He's never really been around, too busy trying to save the world from itself. Even now he's over there standing in front of that damn clinic instead of being here. That would be my dream. And I thought I could find a way to make that happen, and he'd... Whatever. I might as well nuke that drive. It ain't gonna sink. I think I understand what you mean, Chad. Hell yeah, dudes gotta stick together, you know? Dudes? Don't matter if you're a robot or what, we all got the same shit to deal with. Gotta grab destiny by the horns and make your own mark. From the mouth of babes. You're smarter than you look, Chad. You're pretty open-minded for a kid who tags for HR. You're smarter than you look. People keep saying that, and I keep wanting to punch them for it. It's probably the hair, Chad. You think? Well, I ain't willing to give up my due, just so people will think I'm a brain. Got an image to protect. I think it would be better in yellow. Yeah? Maybe we get a box of dye on the way home. The line is finally cleared up. Let's go talk to Ramona. Hey, Ollie! Salutations, Ramona. Lacey, go! I want you to wait, okay? Close my door. I'm almost done. Okay. What can I do for you all? Ahem! Oh! This is my friend Chad. Nice to meet you! Yeah, you too. We were hoping you might be able to give us your assistance, Miss Ramona. We want to make a trade for the Magical Commander Yukino poster over there. It's necessary for us to get some pretty important information. No way! Not happening. Nuh-uh. Yukino is off limits. This is literally a matter of life and death. And get another, it'll only take a few days. Maybe we'll just borrow it when you're not looking. We can get you another, it'll only take a few days. It's not just a poster. It was a gift from someone. Someone I care about, okay? Besides, you can't get another one. Takeko passed away a few years ago. Perhaps there's something else that would make a suitable trade. You aren't hearing me, are you? It's not about what it's worth. It has sentimental value. You can't replace that. Look, you'll just have to order something off the mesh because you can't have this one. We don't have time! This lead will dry up by then. I don't care. Okay, it's literally a matter of life and death. I don't care. That poster was signed by Takeko herself. It's one of a kind and I'm not giving it up. I'd rather not drag you any further into this than necessary, but I promise that we're not overstating it. This is a dire situation, and people have already died. Still, I don't see how my poster is going to help. Man, you nerds sure do love your cheap crap from the net. Cheap crap? I'll have you know that poster is worth hundreds of credits. With Takeko gone, you can't get more autographs. It's special. Sure it is. Grrr! He doesn't get it. He's not in the fandom. Thankfully. This isn't a joke, Ramona! Okay, enough. How about this for a trade? I have an original key frame cell from Pretty Champion Sailor Sirius, signed by Takeko at home. Whoa! You have a signed Sailor Sirius cell? It's really hard to get. They stopped doing keyframes by hand right around that time. You can't be serious, Ollie. You had that thing framed on your wall and you wouldn't shut up about it for a week after you got it. This is important, Chad. You can't say you wouldn't do the same thing if someone had your dad. You can't say you wouldn't do the same thing if someone had your dad. Think about Turing. And I can't ask Ramona to give up something important to her if I'm not willing to do the same. Maybe. Alright, fine. I don't know what this is all about, but offering the keyframe is way too much for the poster. I can't accept it. But we need... I didn't say you couldn't have the poster. Do you have something more equal to trade, Ollie? A couple of things, maybe. We'll talk about it then. Maybe you can find me another one, too. Go ahead and take the poster. Yeah! You got the signed poster. Thank you, Ramona. Yes, I can't tell you how much it means to us. Sure. And, you think I could see that cell sometime, Ollie? Of course! I'll bring it over when we talk about the trade. So cool! Let's look at it. A poster for Magical Commander Yukino. Yukino at the Gates of the Deep. Signed by Takeko. So what now? Do we leave? I don't like the way she was flirting with you, Ollie. What are you talking about? I know flirting when I see it, and I'm saying I don't like it. Not one bit. We just talked about old animes sometimes, Chad. Neither of us are interested in the other. Feh, sure. Well, we have the poster now. What's next? Go ahead and call this number, Turing. He'll want to set up the drop with you, now that I've introduced you to him. Sure, change the subject. I'll call him right now then. It's ringing. You're the ones looking for some papers? We are, and we have the requested payment here. Good. We're gonna do this real professional-like. You know the Stardust? I do. Head there. Leave the poster behind the Megaphobator arcade cabinet and get out. Come back 10 minutes later and your stuff will be behind the cabinet. I understand. Good. I'll be waiting. Well, that was very mysterious. Yeah, that's how this guy is. I don't even know his name, and I've been getting things from him for a few years now. Who cares? Let him play Spy Master if he wants. Let's hurry up to the Stardust and get this over with. I've wasted enough of my day with this crap. Do. Go inside to make the drop. We'll wait out here. Yeah, don't want to risk our IDs getting snatched if we're caught sneaking in. I suppose I should feign surprise. Hey, it's a pretty cool set, even if it's 1,000,000 years old. They don't really care about the IDs unless you try to hit the bar. Found that one out the hard way. It would have been fine if you wouldn't have taken a swing at the bouncer. I like the hard way. We'll be right back, gentlemen. Try not to set fire to the building or something while we're gone. No security right now? Aww. Who's this? Ah, so this is where the bouncer is. Looks like they're off duty for some reason. Today's my last day off before the holidays, but I can't seem to stay away. Thanks for coming by so often. Just make sure you order something. Oh, it's you again. I'm caught up in something at the moment. Chances are we'll cross paths again. Is it this one? No, that's Charge Shot, Indie Cart. This game looks kind of freaky with all the lips and eyes. Oh, it says it right there. VR drama poster removed from the items. Well, that should do it, Sidian. This is an awful lot of a fuss over a poster. I just don't understand the appeal of merchandise like this. I keep my important possessions on my data drive. Humans don't have total recall like you do. Ah, that is true. Ramona seemed more concerned with it being a gift from a friend than as an item of importance in its own, right? Perhaps it is necessity to keep such things around as reminders of good memories. In that case, perhaps I should get a few things from the apartment. I do have perfect recall, but a few of Hayden's things would be nice reminders. That's enough navel gazing for now, anyway. Let's head back outside so our benefactor can make the trade. Y'all do the deal. We left the poster behind the cabinet. Now we just need to wait for the switch. I've never had to wait more than 5 minutes or so before. It shouldn't take long. I wonder how he knows the drop happened and gets to it so fast. Don't matter, Ollie. This guy is a solid feed. Even if he likes to mess around. What do you need these passports for, anyway? You said to trade for information, but what's the full story? Without going into too much detail, our informant needs to get away from Neo San Francisco. The passports are one part of that. We also need to obtain an untraceable car. I don't suppose the two of you could help with that. No way, dude. Grand Theft Auto is a felony with a capital F. Besides, getting an untraceable car is a damn bit harder than a piece of plastic that'll fool a hand scanner. Chad's right. Of course I'm right. Anyways, the city's traffic management system keeps track of all vehicles passively, even if you manage to circumvent their firmware to keep them from actively reporting to the network. You have to spoof the car as something permitted to be invisible for the CTOS to ignore it. I don't want to mess with boosting cars anyway. The junks run that racket in Neo San Francisco, and they don't play nice. Especially with the HR. Well, thanks either way. You've done us a huge favor. Call it even for the apartment. Yeah, Blue, no hard feelings. You give us a call if you need anything else. Long as it'll help you find your pops. We should get going though. We were supposed to be home hours ago. My dad won't notice, but Ollie's will flip. You take care. Don't get de-rezzed. Goodbye. Chad and Oliver left your party. Let's finish the trade inside. Passports added to items. Here the passports are, just as advertised. Now we need to find a car. Perhaps Jess might know someone who can lend a hand. Sure, but you can do the talking. Good idea. Look at the passports. Used for international travel. Oh. Oh, it's you again. Did you find your guy? Or wait, let me guess. There's something else you need from me. Well, you haven't been terrible to deal with so far, so I'm willing to hear you out. Barely. We need access to an untraceable car. Real party animals. There's Beast Boy in the back. An informant of ours needs to get out of the city without attracting the attention of Parallax and is offering valuable information in exchange. Heavy stuff. Well, you're gonna have to look elsewhere on this one. Yeah, she doesn't sound so aggravated when talking to me now. I'm not sure why you think it's just because I defend a few folks in the rougher parts of the city that I would have that kind of connection. Maybe you heard somewhere that the hybrids in Neo San Francisco run the chop shops or something, and you believed it. Even if, hypothetically, they did, what profession exactly should hybrids take up when the government has legitimized discrimination against them? It doesn't matter, because I'm not going to be an accessory to a felony, or let one of my clients be either. I won't go down that path. Sorry, I wouldn't know where to start anyway. Is there any impossible way you could give us any kind of hint at all? I know we're reaching, but this is important. You just don't quit, do you? Okay, let me think. This might be a long shot, but you could try asking Majid. There are rumors that he may have been involved in some shady stuff way back in the day. He'll probably be reluctant to talk about it, but there's something for you. Get Majid to send me another drink in exchange, will ya? Later. Huh, that went better than expected. I wonder if my charm is starting to pay off for us. Oh! You performed admirably as well. Onward we go. Hey, friends! What can we get for you? We were hoping you could give us a little information. I'm always glad to help. But first, a drink! What'll it be, Stygian? I want my... What's it called again? Subtle bitch. A Hassy Spike. Coming right up. I'll ask Gus if I don't know what it is. Grr. I always ask for it. Sorry about stealing your thunder. Alright, here you go. Subtle bitch served. So what did you need help with? We're still investigating Hayden's disappearance, but we've run into a roadblock. An informant of ours needs secure transportation out of the city, but we don't have any contacts who would be able to get us an untraceable car. You mentioned that you used to engage in certain extra-legal activities. Perhaps you could point us towards someone who could help? He doesn't do that kind of stuff anymore. Right. Sorry, friends. I left that behind a long time ago. Don't really keep in touch with that crew anymore. Ah, of course. Completely understandable. Sorry to bother you then. Well, no harm in asking, right? My reputation precedes me. Ha ha ha. Don't let it go to your head, killer. Gus, I need to go to the back and gather up stuff to restock before the rush hour later on. Mind manning the bar for me? Take your time. I think I can keep things under control. Thanks. Love ya, hon. Aww. Well, that leaves us at a dead end, Stygian. Any ideas on how we should proceed? Some nose-to-the-ground journalist techniques for finding leads? Maybe there's another way out of the city. That's a thought. Perhaps the light rail? Or perhaps a ship? Give me a few moments to run a mesh search. No, I don't think that will work. Parallax designed the operating system that runs the light rail themselves. Remaining unobserved while right under the nose of the railway's security system would be difficult, if not impossible. As for the ship, we'd run into the same problems as with the car. They aren't hooked into the CTOS, but they do use active GPS guidance for automatic destination control. We'd have to find a way to remove it from the grid. Why are we talking about this in front of him? What about going through Jesse's friends directly? Maybe we could find an old manually driven car? Let's stuff Vince in a trunk. Maybe we could find an old manually driven car. That's not the worst idea. I don't think it would get noticed as long as the car had the appropriate registrations. But the permits to operate a manual vehicle are prohibitively expensive. A casual collector might still maintain one, but only wealthy hobbyists would have the appropriate stickers to make the car roadworthy. We'd have to do a B&E, as Chad put it before. Okay, the two of you are killing me here. Look, don't tell Majid about this. But, here. Carjacking device added to items. What? What is this, Gus? It's an automated vehicle maintenance scanner. With that, I assume are a few less than standard upgrades. With what? Not with that. If you can circumvent its security codes, you can use it to scan a car's installed firmware and put in a new set of firmware that will spoof its presence on the city's network. At least I think that's how it works. We don't have time to get into any specifics because you need to get the hell out of here with that before Majid gets back. It's just something that's been laying around anyway. I guess I got a little jealous of Majid's rough and tumble history and got into some of his old stuff to mess around. I wouldn't steal anything though. I just wanted to know how it worked. I can't tell you how much we appreciate this, Gus. We might finally be on our way to solving this mystery. Yeah, well, you didn't get it from me, okay? I was just playing around with it, and it'll hurt Majid if he thinks... I don't know. Just get out of here and get on with your Grand Theft Auto. Of course! Thank you! Well, now I think we're cooking with gas, as the colloquialism goes, Stygian. I'm searching the mesh for instructions on how to use this device as we speak. Let's go look for some likely candidates. I should be ready by then. Well, there's one right here. Success! This vehicle has the appropriate firmware version. Someone has been neglecting the regularly scheduled updates. Give me a moment to get everything installed. There. There's some other options here I can fool around with. 1 second. Okay. Ah, interesting. I can put in preset destination plans for a future date. Why don't we go ahead and set a plan for the car to return to the spot in a week? That's more than enough time for Mr. Mensa to get away. Now we aren't really stealing the car. More like borrowing without asking. I feel better already. Me too. The car will drive itself to Golden Gate Park and we can show Mr. Mensa where it is when we meet him. There, everything should be set up now. We still need to get the cash together before we can meet back up with Mr. Mensa. Alright. Oh, I still got this. Not sold in stores. Where else has a car in the front? Close the door. What?
Okay, guys, do you need help? No.
Okay, close the door. Where else has cars? This is Market Street? I want to hack all the cars. We already found our car. No more stealing. The car for Mr. Mensa is ready. No need to steal another one. What? One simple failure will not dissuade our cause. Whoops! I didn't want to go to menu. No. Let's go to her for the money. Maybe we should ring the bell first. No. Ding dong, ding dong. Roar. Hello, Pat. Can we see Melody? Roar. I guess it means yes. Tearing. I'm not saying I don't like seeing your little pixelated face. You're certainly better company than most of the humans I have to deal with. But I'm a busy woman, you know? Lots to do. Right, Pat? Traitor. Anyway, maybe we should space these little visits out a good bit further. Familiarity breeds contempt, after all. And I'm very good at contempt. I apologize, Aunt Melody. You've stated before that you like your peace and quiet, but we need your assistance. We're running with the ant thing, are we? Another woman would tell you not to try to butter her up, but I like the flattery too much. What do you need? Vincent needs help getting out of the city. I can only imagine. If he's willing to turn a coat on Parallax, and they were willing to remove Hayden when he made waves, I bet he feels like a mouse in a cat farm. Oh. I know they don't actually farm cats, Pat. It was a metaphor. Roar. Whatever. It was a simile then. I'm not going to play semantics with a bear. Roar. Moving on. Tell me what the trouble is and I'll make it happen. We're going to need to pay for the information. Mr. Mensis said he needs 100,000 credits. He also said that you already promised it to him, and that he won't be able to get out of the city without it. He'll give us the information once we have that, and a few other things I'm certain we can get on our own. What? You can't even scrape together that kind of money, Stygian? Not much of a journalist then, is she, Turing? According to the statistics that I've found, it is unlikely that a journalist of any caliber less than the best would have that amount of liquid assets on hand. The pay for the profession just isn't that high, Aunt Melody. Oh, I see. I guess it's just one of those jobs people do because they love free headphones. I'm right here. Ha ha ha. I could always sell ninja assassin androids instead. I can get you the money, Turing, only because you're family. Just give Pat a few minutes to gather it. Yeah, just get moving, you big brute. While we wait, is there anything else you want to grill me over? Might as well save us both another visit. Maybe Turing has something else to ask. Maybe Turing has something to ask. I do. It's a little personal, though. I'd understand if you didn't feel like answering. Just shoot, Turing. I can take it. Long ago, you lost your mother. I was wondering, how did you deal with it? Hayden's only been gone for a few days, and already I feel like my circuits are going to lock up for good. Oh, Turing. I'm not the right person to ask. I hated my mother. She's everything I thought wrong with the world, and when she was gone I felt nothing but relief that I could start undoing the damage she did. Never mind the fact I had to watch her waste away from the cancer. Death was a blessing for us both. But she had lymphoma. Lymphoma is easy to cure, but I guess if she didn't know about it? I don't know. Besides, you'll find Hayden soon. Keep your chin up. Blast it. Enough with this subterfuge. We already know Hayden has been killed. We were keeping it quiet so we didn't show our hand, or something. I won't be getting him back. Oh no. I'm sorry, Turing. I still don't know what to tell you. I've lost people, but never anyone close enough to wound me like that. I don't know that I've ever had anyone that close to me. If you feel like talking about it, I'm willing to listen. Or make Pat do it anyway. Thank you. I don't know. Stick it out. Time heals all wounds, or so they say. This too shall pass. How smart is Pat, really? Smarter than I give him credit for, that's for sure. It's not the easiest thing in the world to measure, you know. He doesn't process language in the same way humans do, and even if he can understand me, my translation program just guesses at what he says most of the time. Oh, you have a translator running from your neural implant. Ha! Yeah, I'm cheating. Though, honestly, even without it, I have a pretty good idea of what he means most of the time. We've been together for a while now. The tech we developed is good. It just has a damned high mortality rate. Considering it only really works on large, typically predatory mammals, we don't have a lot of test subjects. It's a minefield of ethical concerns, beyond just being prohibitively expensive. So Pat is a bear apart. At least until we can figure out how to apply the modified neural pathways without frying the brains of 90% of the subjects. Maybe one day there will be a bunch of talkative tigers and dolphins building cities in the sea. But for now, we're stuck with creating beasts out of our own species. Seems a little sad that you're all alone except for a bear. Being alone is easier, and Pat isn't such bad company. I mean, what do you want me to do? Cry about never having a husband? A few kids and a white picket fence? Bah! I had a company to run, and my mother's legacy to reshape. What's to say some spawn of mine wouldn't turn around and do the exact same thing to my flower? This branch of the florist line will do well without any more knives and backs. Thank you very much. You have that much enmity for your mother? Have you seen what she did to North Korea? It's a wasteland of death and destruction. If we had kept going down the path she charted, the whole world would be like that. The information on the mesh does paint a grim picture. Grim barely scratches the surface. I've been there. At least under the Kims, it was barely functional. Now, my mother's monsters have ripped every last resemblance of sanity from the land. They stalk the night like horrific creatures of legend, killing anyone who has more ambition than to scratch out a living from the dirt. A horror story straight out of the pages of Bram Stoker. That's her legacy. So I can't imagine I'd be a very good mother, just from the example I have to work with. I think I agree with Stygian. It is a little sad. Meh, that's life. I don't have any more regrets than anyone else at my age does. My legacy will speak for itself as my mother's did. Okay, we're short on time. There he is. Roar. Just in time, then. Take the cash and get moving. Yay! Briefcase added to items. I can finally get back to whatever it was I was doing before you burst in here. Thank you, Aunt Melody. Your help has been invaluable to us. Yeah, kiss ass later. You've got things to do, too. Bye, Pat. Look at briefcase. There's 100,000 credits inside this thing. Ugh, my throat. Leave. I did not think I would feel such a strong resonance with Melody. We're connected by the barest of threads, but she is already important to me. Is that strange? Maybe you're both lonely. Very possible. I guess there's nothing to do but run with it. Some gifts are too valuable to look at too closely, lest they vanished into thin air, and I already have the penchant for overanalyzing things. Let's get moving. Mr. Mensa will be waiting for us at Golden Gate Park. We have everything he requested, so we should head there directly. I bet he's there shot or something. Wait, what? Detective Rivers, to what do we owe the pleasure? I wanted to check in with you, away from the prying eyes of my corporate masters. It wasn't too hard to track you down here. Only took a slight abuse of my power to follow your credit transactions in the AutoCAD system. Were you able to find anything out? You haven't... So well. Were you able to find anything out? Not much. Listen. I'm getting stonewalled by my superiors on the investigation, and I could really use another lead from the two of you. I'd been hunting down, I'm not sure if I want to call him a soldier of fortune or an assassin for hire. Either way, I tracked this guy down to see if he might have been hired by Parallax to snatch Hayden. He's gotten an ironclad alibi for the relevant period of time. That leaves me with nothing. Nada. Jack diddly shit. Do the two of you have anything to give me? Otherwise, I'm back to hunting down the Froyo-hating robot ghost in the park. I'm sure my superiors would be ecstatic considering how much they keep riding my ass about it. We're on thin leads ourselves, Detective Rivers. We have a meeting with someone from inside Parallax who might be able to give us answers, but he's unlikely to want to talk to the police. I just wish this... Never mind. Buck up, Turing. I wish this was easier too. But with detective work, sometimes it's not about being clever. It's just about being more dogged and relentless than whoever you're chasing. You two are my new deputies, right? So keep your nose to the ground and keep digging. I still have a few contacts I can hit up to try finding out a little more. You let me know if there's anything else I need to be going after. We will. Thanks, Lexi. Yeah, sure. Just get going. Okay then. We only have a single lead. And if Parallax really is as shady as Vincent seems to suspect, it could end up very interesting. Let's see if I can put an end to this. Finally. Oh! I just received an email from Tomcat. They finished decrypting Hayden's data cache. It seems that it was filled mostly with his personal logs about my creation and mental development. The more technical information was already scraped. Perhaps that was why it was left behind when they snatched him. Still, these files should be enlightening, if only in a personal way. I'll peruse them in my spare time and let you know if I find anything interesting. I'd hate for all the trouble we went to be for nothing. Alright. Since Rand Puma's coming home, I guess this is the best time to stop before handing in all the money and stuff in. I hope you enjoyed watching me play. I'm really enjoying this game a lot. Every day I'm like, oh, I can't wait until I start streaming. Anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed it, and I should be back tomorrow night. Around the same time. Right? Tomorrow's Monday? Yeah. I'll be back tomorrow, and I hope everyone has a good evening. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye-bye.